Hello there guys, welcome to my channel. Okay, in this video I'm going to present to you chemistry paper 2 extended in October-November 2020 and it is 23. Okay, so the time duration is given is 45 minutes. Okay, now let us go to the first question. Okay, the first question, which gas has the slowest rate of diffusion? Okay, slowest rate of diffusion here, it is depending on the weight. Okay, the inertia. So the heavier molecule will be diffused at a slower rate. So now let us look at their RMM. So here will be 1 plus 1 equals to 2. Here will be 14 plus with 3 because 17. Here you have 12 plus with hydrogen is 1 multiplied with 4, you got 4. Total is 16. And this is the heaviest one, 12 plus with 16 multiplied with 2, you'll be getting that 32, which is about 44. Okay, now so you can see that it is the heaviest, okay, in terms of the weight, the RMM. So your answer is donkey here, D. Okay, now number 2. Okay, now number 2. When a dark gray solid element heated, it changes directly into purple gas. Okay, now we have a solid to gas. Okay, solid to gas. So solid to gas should be a sublimation. Okay, now let us move to question number 3. Okay, for question number 3, nickel to sulfate is a green solid that is soluble in water. Which method is used to obtain a pure sample of a nickel to sulfate crystal from a mixture of nickel to sulfate and sand? So here the best way is to make it soluble with water, because sand is insoluble with water and nickel to sulfate is soluble in water, right? So and then we have to filter it and allow the solution to be crystallized. So that is the only way we can get the sample. So your answer is donkey here, D. Okay, now let us look at number 4. In chromatography, experiment shown which label represent the solvent front. Okay, please remember the line here on top here. This is called as a solvent front. Okay, for number 5, molecules containing only non-metal atoms are covalently bonded. The formula of 4 covalently bonded molecules are given below. Okay, we have a nitrogen, carbon dioxide, ethane, and methanol. Okay, alcohol group, they do not have a double bond, so they will present as this. We will have a C. Okay, remember carbon is in a group 14. Okay, carbon is a group 14. So here you will be having valence electron of 4. So it means that the carbon will have a 4 bondings. So it will be O, H, and the rest is H. Okay, so there is no double bonding over here. So there is no 4. So A is wrong, C is wrong, and D is also wrong. So your answer here will be boy. But let me explain here. Nitrogen is a group 15. Okay, which means it needs another 3 more electrons. So it will form a triple bonding. So let me draw the Lewis structure over here. Nitrogen will have 5 valence electron. Okay, another nitrogen. Let me draw it in a cross diagram representing the electron, and here we have the bonding. So nitrogen will have a triple bonding. So that's how we are getting here the covalent bonding. So one is not. Carbon dioxide, oxygen needs 2. Okay, oxygen needs 2. So let me just put it in this way. Okay, here's carbon, oxygen. Valence electron for oxygen is 6. So we place it in 6. And here we have a carbon, which is 4. And they will have a double bonding over here. So here you'll be having 8 electrons for the oxygen each. And for the carbon also we will have 8 electrons. So both will share the electrons to reach stability. Yes, they do have a double bonding. Ethane, the condition, or we can say as a functional group for the ethane, is a double bond. Okay, since we have a double bond here, so there's only 4. So the rest is for hydrogen. So this is the structural formula for ethane. So it's 2 and 3. Right, so let us move on to number 6. Okay, for number 6, the arrangement of electrons in 2 ions formed from element X and Y. Okay, now let us calculate the electron numbers. So here we have a 2.8.1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So the electron here is 18. The proton here is 19. Right? So this is an ion, okay, which is a plus, is a positive one. And if we follow the proton, which is the actual number for this, is a 2.8.1, which means it's a group 1. Okay. Now let us look at the Y. Now we have here 2.8.8. So they have electron of 18 and the proton from here is 17. So electron is more, right? So it will be Y negative. So from here, from the electron, we can know that it is coming from a group 17. Okay, based on the arrangement 2.8.7. So this is an ion arrangement, so it has to be a stable. So group 17 always appear as a duatom. So we have the equation X plus beta Y 2, and when the ion merge together, combine together, you have a X and Y. Okay, X and Y. So to balance the equation, we will have to put here 2 and here's 2. Okay, so to get in this form, so what we can do here, we can make it in this way. 2x plus with y2. So your best answer here will be donkey. D. Oh, yes, there's a mistake here. It should be negative. So y, the x should be positive and the y should be negative. So your 6 here is C. Okay, so this is your explanation. Okay, now let us move to question number 7. Okay, for question number 7, magnesium react with sulfuric acid. Okay, so please remember this is a metal plus with acid. So you'll be getting here salt plus with hydrogen gas. So magnesium and sulfuric acid. To get the salt, Mg will become 2 plus, and the sulfate ion is 2 negative 4. When they combine together, you'll be getting here MgSO4 plus with hydrogen. So this is the equation. So your answer here will be A. Okay, 7 is A. Now let us move to question number 8. Okay, for question number 8, sodium reacts with chlorine to form sodium chloride. Okay, sodium is a group 1, so it should be under metallic. Chlorine is a group 17, so they will be under covalent. Okay, this is under covalent. Okay, so here we have a sodium, which is a metal, and a non-metal. When metal and non-metal combine, they will form ionic. So 8 is C, the best answer here. Metallic, covalent, and also ionic. Okay, so I hope you can understand number 8. Okay, now let us move on with number 9. Okay, number 9, rubidium is in group 1 of a periodic table and bromine is in group 17. Rubidium reacts with the bromine to form an ionic compound. So when we write down the ionic equation, rubidium will be a positive one and the bromine here will be a negative, and both of them combined will be getting here. This is your equation. Okay, which row shows the electron change taking place for rubidium? Okay, rubidium, if you're asking me, there is half equation for the rubidium. This is a metal. Okay, so when the metal forms a positive ion, it will donate electrons. Is electron lost? So the electron gain will be the wrong answer. So when the electron is lost, you will be having a positive ion. So 9 is C. Number 10. Which statement explains why graphite is used as a lubricant? Because graphite is having a hexagonal structure. Okay, this is their molecular structure, and you'll be having a layer by layer. Okay, so we just assume it is a one molecule here, up here, molecule 1 and molecule 2, and each carbon is connected with a very weak forces. Okay, very weak force, and they can be slide easily. So just like our pencil lid, okay, the pencil, so it is quite slippery, so it is used as lubricant. So the best answer here will be donkey. The layers in the structure can be slid over each another. Okay, so now let us move to question number 11. Okay, number 11, the relative atomic mass of chlorine is 35.5. When calculating relative atomic mass, which particle is the mass of chlorine atom compared to? Okay, please remember this formula. The relative atomic mass is actually mass over we can say element X, any elements, okay, any elements, divided with 1 over 12 mass of a carbon. So mass of a carbon is equals to 12. So when you have 1 over 12 multiplied with 12, you will be cancelling each another, and we will be getting mass of elements. So this is your answer. 11 is C. Why is it compared with carbon? Is because carbon is everywhere. Okay, carbon is everywhere. We call it as abundant. Okay, now let us look at number 12. Okay, number 12. What is the empirical formula of an oxide ion formed by reacting 2.24 gram of iron and 0.96 gram of oxygen? So let us just put here iron and oxygen. Here is 2.24, oxygen is 0.96. This is the gram, yeah, the mass. Now we divide with this RMM, which is 56 for iron, and divide with 16 for oxygen, and we will be getting here the mole calculation. Here will be 0.04, and here will be 0.06. So we have to take the simplest, the smallest mole, and divide by each of them. You'll be getting here 1 and here will be 1.5. And we have to multiply with 2 because there is no such thing like iron has a 1.5. So we multiply with 2 for each and we'll be getting here 2 and 3. And the final formula here will be iron is 2 and oxygen is 3. This is your calculation method. Alright. Okay. So your answer here will be C. Okay. So I hope you can understand this calculation of empirical formula. Now let us look at question number 13. Okay, number 13, electrolysis is carried out on a dilute aqueous potassium bromide. Okay, potassium bromide is a positive, bromide is negative, and this is a aqueous. Aqueous you will have water, so hydrogen and hydroxide. Okay, since it is a positive ion, it will be attracted to the cathode, which is the negative side. So please remember this. You will have 2 electrodes. Okay, and then here will be the water, the electrolyte. Okay, electrolyte, and here will be the positive charge and here will be the negative charge. So the negative will be attracted to the positive, and the positive charge, the ions, the cation will be attracted to the negative electrode. So here's the cathode and here's the anode. Okay, so your best answer here will be anode is potassium. So your best answer here will be A. Okay, what product or form? So if you're looking at this electrochemistry series, we will have hydrogen, the lowest. Okay, now for number 14, which substance does not require oxygen in order to produce the energy? So this is through combustion, combining with oxygen, and combustion too. So all these three, it needs oxygen to produce the energy. However, your uranium doesn't need. Okay, so they can produce the energy by nuclear fission. Okay, this is under radioactivity. Okay, number 15, ethanol is used as a fuel. So we have ethanol, oxygen, carbon dioxide, and water. This is a combustion method. So here we'll be having the reaction is endothermic. No, when you have a combustion, this is a combustion. So it should be under exothermic. So this is wrong. The product have more energy than the reactant, which is also wrong. The oxygen for this reaction comes from the air. Yes, of course. So the combustion happens at the open space. So you have oxygen coming from the air. 3 yes. The temperature of the reactant mixture rises during this reaction. Yes, because it's exothermic. So yes. So 15 is 3 and 4, which will give you the answer D. Okay, now let us look at number 6. Okay, 16. The reaction between a hydrogen and oxygen releases this much of energy. Okay, now we have the bond energy of a hydrogen is 436 and OH is 464. Okay, now here we have this is under endothermic because the energy will be absorbed to break their bonding. Okay, so here is under formation. Formation here will be under exothermic. So when it releases heat, so it will be under negative. So let us we just make it into a calculation here. Okay, now when we have a OH, here will be H. So we will have two parts over here. Okay, OH and also OH. So it will be like a 464 multiply with 2 for this one molecule and multiply with further 2 due to this. Okay, so your total energy for this exotomic here will be 1856. Okay, however over here hydrogen we have 2, okay, from here, and here we have 436 multiply with 2 and we will be getting here 872. So the equation here will be endo, okay, endo energy minus with the exo from here and equals to the energy released. So here will be negative 486. Okay, then endo is not completed, so we just put here 872 minus with the exo. So we can put here in algebra plus with X, which is from the oxygen, minus with exo 1856. So we can do the calculation. Here will be plus with 1856 and further minus with the 872. And here's the X. The X is for the oxygen, and when we calculate this, we will be getting 498. So which will give you the answer C. Okay, so this is your answer for 16. Okay, now let us move to the question number 17. Okay, for question number 17, which reaction of hydrochloric acid in a redox reaction? Redox reaction. Okay, now we look at one by one here. So here we have, okay, in redox we must have both, which is a oxidation and also reduction. So Na is 0. Okay, 0 to a positive. So here's the oxidation. Now let us find reduction. So we look at hydrogen is positive 1. Here will be 0. So here we have a reduction. So this is a redox, example redox. Now we look at the others. Here will be positive 1, no change. And here there is no change, no change. And when we look about hydrogen, it remains the same, okay, both the reactant and the product. So there is no oxidation and there is no reduction here. So 17 is A. Okay, look at number 18. Which reaction is an example of a photochemical reaction? Okay, so photochemical reaction. A chemical reaction occurs with the light. Okay, so here you can see so when we look at A, B, C, D, your best answer here will be donkey, and your explanation here will be silver chloride. When it is in the presence of the sunlight, okay, it will decompose into silver metal, and the chloride gas will be released to form a chlorine gas. Okay, so this is a photochemical reaction. When you compare with potassium reacting with water, they doesn't need light. Magnesium and oxygen, no need light. Glucose forming carbon dioxide and water, there is no need for presence of light. So 18 is donkey here. Alright, okay, now let us move to the next one. Okay, here an excess calcium carbonate is added to dilute the hydrochloric acid X, so which is here. A carbon dioxide gas given off is collected and its volume recorded. Okay, line X on the graph shows the results obtained. Line Y shows the results obtained. So line Y is here, the faster reaction. So now the questions here will be, which statement about the two hydrochloric acid sample X and Y is correct? So this is more to rate of reaction. They have a same volume, Y having a high concentration. So there is no help over here for A. Okay, for B, they had the same concentration, but Y had a larger volume. Volume doesn't affect the rate of reaction. So X had a higher concentration, but Y had a larger volume. So as I say, volume doesn't help. Y had a higher concentration. Okay, so this makes sense, because when you have a higher concentration, you'll be having a higher rate of reaction. Okay, so your answer here will be donkey. Okay, now let us look at the number 20. Okay, here period 3 of a periodic table contains elements sodium to argon. Okay, element Q is a non-metal from this period. Non-metal means it will be starting from a group 14, 15, 16 and 17. Okay, this is a group Q, element Q. So it conducts electricity? No, because it is not a metal. Now when we look at the B, it has a lower proton number than sodium. The periodic table is being arranged by increasing proton number from left to right. Okay, its electron in only 3 shells. Yes, of course, because it's a period 3. So you have 3 shells. It is a malleable. Non-metal is not a malleable. Okay, so your best answer here will be C. 20 is C. Okay, now we go to 21. Okay, 21. Which metal has a variable oxidation state? Here you have to refer to transition element. Okay, she has groups 13, so no. Calcium is group 2, no. Sodium is a group 1, so all of them will be having a fixed oxidation state. However, copper can form positive 2 and 1 plus. So this is your answer, C. Okay, now let us look at question number 22. Okay, an aqueous cation react with, let me make it smaller. Okay, so here we go. Okay, an aqueous cation react with aqueous sodium hydroxide to form white precipitate. Okay, this precipitate is insoluble in excess sodium hydroxide. So, okay, when you are looking at insoluble in sodium hydroxide, so we have aluminium, calcium and also zinc. So look at the zinc here, down here. It is it dissolves in excess. Okay, excess sodium hydroxide. However, aluminium also dissolves, but the one that having a white precipitate and it is insoluble is calcium. Okay, so your answer here will be under calcium. So 22 is boy. Okay, 23. Zinc oxide is an amphoteric oxide. It means it can be react either as a acidic oxide or it can react as a base oxide. Okay, now reaction with alkalis and now acid. It can react with both. So answer here will be A. Okay, now let us look at 24. Okay, for 24, a student carried out an experiment to prepare pure magnesium sulfate crystal. Okay, the diagram shows the first stage of preparation. This is a magnesium carbonate, dilute sulfuric acid. Okay, he add magnesium carbonate until no more react. It means it is in excess. Okay, the magnesium carbonate is in excess. So we have to filter it. Okay, which process should he use for the next stage? Obviously, it's a filtration. Okay, now number 25. Okay, for number 25, which statement about the halogens and their compound is correct? Okay, color of element gets lighter going down the group. 17. Okay, halogens, we just write it down here. Here we have fluorine, chlorine, bromine, and iodine. Okay, here's a black color. This is brown. This is a kind of green yellow. Okay, the color is getting lighter. No, it's wrong. Elements gets less denser going down. This is gas. This is a liquid. This is gas too. This is gas and this is liquid. Bromine is a liquid and here's a solid. Okay, so iodine is a solid. So boy is wrong. When chlorine is added to sodium iodide solution, iodine form. Yes, because this is the most reactive. The reactivity will reduce when going down, and this is a displacement reaction where, example, you have a sodium iodide with chlorine. It will displace, will make it a sodium chloride and iodine. Okay, so to balance the equation, you'll be getting here 2, 2. Yeah, so your best answer here will be C. Okay, now 26. Element in group 2 of the periodic table shows the same trend in their reaction with water and their density as group 1. So here we'll be getting which row shows how the property of barium compared to calcium. So calcium is on top, barium is at the lower than calcium. So their reactivity when they are going down the group, the reactivity increases. So the reaction of barium is much more faster compared to calcium. And since based on the number of shells increases, barium will be higher in density. So your 26 will be A. Okay, now let us look at the next question. Okay, a flammable gas needs to be removed from a tank at an industrial plant. For safety reason, the inert gas is used. Which gas is suitable? Argon is the only inert gas here. The rest is not. Okay, so 27 is A. 28 is... Okay, an experiment is performed to determine the order of reactivity of metal X and Y compared to lead. Strip of each metal were added to separate test tubes containing aqueous lead to nitrate. So we have metal X and metal Y, and here we have a dark layer. So when there is no changes here, what happens is plumbum is higher reactivity than X. Okay, plumbum is higher reactivity than X. And since we have a reaction over here, so Y is more higher reactivity than plumbum. So it should be C as your answer. Okay, now let us look at the next one. The equation for the reaction between iron 3 oxide and calcium monoxide is shown below. Okay, which value of X, Y, Z balance the equation? Now when you look at it here, ferrum iron is 2, so we can put here 2, and oxygen is 4 over here. Alright, here's 3 and here's 1, total is 4, so Z here will put 2. So it is not correct. We are not getting the answer. So we have to erase, because if here we put 2 and we have to increase this as 2. So let me do it again. So let's say we put here 3 and calcium, carbon will become 3, and here we make it equal first. Y is 2. So here we will have an oxygen number of 6, and here we'll be getting 6. So yes, so this is your answer. 29 is donkey. Okay, which process is used to separate oxygen from liquid air? So this is due to fractional distillation, because nitrogen, oxygen, they have their own separate boiling point. Okay, 31. What is the catalyst in Haber process? So it's an iron powder. 31 is A. Okay, for number 32, ammonia is manufactured in exothermic reaction. What is the effect of lowering the pressure on rate of formation of ammonia and percentage yield of ammonia? So the rate will be decreases and the percentage will be decreases too. Since it is exothermic, the pressure should be increased. Okay, part number 33, part of carbon cycle is shown. So glucose to carbon dioxide, the only way is by respiration. Okay, respiration, we plus with oxygen, and here we'll be getting carbon dioxide and water. So it's either B or C. Carbon dioxide to plants is through photosynthesis. To methane is a decomposition. So your answer here will be boy. Okay, number 34. Which row shows the condition used for manufacture of sulfuric acid in contact process? So here we need to have a vanadium oxide as a catalyst. Iron is for the Haber, and we need a temperature and pressure of 450, and pressure ATM is 2. So answer is boy. Okay, now which calcium compound does not neutralize an acid soil? So we need an alkaline compound that can neutralize the acid soil. So this is helpful. This is the alkaline or base characteristics. Anything that has a hydroxide and oxide and even carbonate, they have an alkaline. The only one that doesn't have an alkaline characteristic is a calcium sulfate. So for this question, okay, which product is obtained when bromine react with propane? So we break the double bond over here and we will be getting so at here we will be getting here bromine and bromine here. Okay, it will react with bromine. So this is your answer. So here your answer here will be under donkey. 36 is donkey. Okay, 37. Propanol is oxidized by acidified potassium manganate in a similar way of ethanol. Which compound is produced by oxidation of propanol with acidified potassium manganate? So this is a conversion alcohol to carboxylic acid. Okay, carboxylic acid. So when we have a propanol which is 3, so the formula for carboxylic acid is this: CnH2n plus 1 COOH. And remember, when you substitute the N over here, we have to minus 1 since we already have 1 carbon over here. So we should be getting here 2C2H5COOH. So this is your propanonic acid. So this is 37. So your best answer here will be donkey. C. D. Okay, and then for number 38, the flow chart shows the preparation of ethanol and some important chemistry of ethanol. Okay, for the fermentation, we need glucose as the raw material to produce ethanol, and ethanol to carbon dioxide we have is should be under combustion, and here will be water or steam. So should be boil your answer. Okay, number 39. Which equation represents the formation of a polypropane? So propane is your C. So this is the propane. Propane to polypropane, they will break this bonding and form a single bonding in every side. So let us check the equation. This is wrong. Okay, now let us check. There is no double bonding in the polypropane. not this. It should be this one, the A. Okay, so this is for 39. And the last one, okay, which type of linkage joins the amino acid in the protein? So amino acid, you will be having a amide. Okay, this is the amide group and this is the acid group. So remember, always remember, we will have this. This is the amide. Let's see, we just put here X and here's the Y, and the OH and the H at this side will combine to form the water, and both of these, they will combine each another. So they'll be getting COO, and you have a nitrogen, hydrogen, and here's the X and the Y. So your best answer here will be A. This is under amino acid. Okay, so I have answered the 40 questions. So I hope you can understand. If you have any questions, please comment below and I will come back to you. And thank you very much for watching, and all the best for your revision.